You know, I've never been much for shopping. In fact, I try to stay away from town. Particularly when shopping time comes, I ain't easily found. But the day came when I had to go, and I left the kids with Ma. But before I left, she asked me, "Would you pick me up a bra?" Without thinking, I said, "Sure. How tough can that job be?" I bent down and kissed her and said, "I'll be back by 3." Well, when I'd done the things I needed, I started to regret ever offering to buy that thing. I was working up a sweat. I crossed the street to the lady shop with my hat pulled over my eyes. I wasn't taking any chances on being recognized. I walked right up to the sales clerk. I didn't hem or haw. I told the lady right straight out, "Ma'am, I'm here to buy a bra." From behind I heard some snickers, so I turned around to see at least 15 women in the store, and they're all gawking at me. "What kind would you be looking for?" Well, I just scratched my head. I'd only seen one kind before. I thought bras was bras, I said. She gives me a disgusted look. "Well, sir, that's where you're wrong. Come with me," I heard her say, and like a dog, I tagged along. She took me down this alley where bras was on display. Well, I thought my jaw would hit the floor when I seen that lingerie. They had all these different styles that I'd not seen before. I thought that I'd go crazy before I left that woman's store. They had bras you wear for 18 hours and bras that cross your heart. And there was bras that lift and separate, and that was just a start. They had bras that made you feel like you weren't wearing one at all, and bras that you could train in if you start off when you're small. Well, I finally made my mind up. Picked a black and lacy one, and I told the lady, "Bag it up," and I figured I was done. But then she asked me for the size. I didn't hesitate. I knew them measurements by heart. 6 7/8. 6 7/8? Well, sir, that really isn't right. "Oh, yes, ma'am, I'm positive. I measured them just last night." I thought that she'd go into shock. Must have took her by surprise when I told her that my wife's bust was the same as my hat size. "That's what I used to measure with. I figured it was fair. But if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, ma'am." This drew another stare. By now a crowd had gathered, and they all were cracking up when the lady asked to see my hat to measure for a cup. When she finally had it figured, I gave the gal her pay and turned to leave the store, tipped my hat, and said, "Good day." My wife heard the whole story before I ever made it home. She'd talked to 15 women who had called her on the phone. She was still a-laughing, but by then I didn't care. Now she don't ask and I don't shop for no more women's underwear.